for different reasons. One of them being very versatile. You can use it on a lot of different surfaces. Today, I want to talk about what surface you can use for gouache. Hello, bonjour, I'm Cécile, a French artist, and my mission is to spread the gouache love. And I'm also known as the gouache queen. First and obvious one, paper. And you can use a lot of different paper. It can be regular drawing paper, tone paper, black paper, watercolor paper, hot pressed, cold pressed, rough texture, whatever, you name it. And I don't want to talk too much about that because this is really obvious. And unlike watercolor, the paper doesn't really matter for the final result in gouache. I mean, with watercolor, if you are using 100% cotton instead of a regular drawing paper, it will make a world of difference. But with gouache, it doesn't really matter. I think it's most about the kind of finish you want to achieve with your gouache and the level of details you like to have in your art style. And the more detail you want to go, the smoother the surface will be. It will be easier for you. So I let you decide which kind of paper you like. And if you want, I've made a companion blog article to this video with a table where I compare each surface and I give the pros and cons of each surface. So if you like tables, you can go and read the article. It's linked in the description below the video. Now, canvas. Canvas is a very good surface for gouache. And you have different types of canvases. I like to use canvases on cardboard because they are already very well tight. There is no moving. I don't like canvases because it's too soft for me. For gouache, I wouldn't recommend a soft canvas because as the surface is a bit too soft, you may risk to crack your gouache. But with a hard surface like this, you're safe and you can go with gouache. This one was raw canvas with a primer already on it, so you don't have anything to do. Just grab your gouache and go and paint. Or you can have canvases that are bigger, still on the cardboard. And the one I'm using are the one from Clairefontaine, because this is what I find in France easily. But you have a lot of different brands that do that. Just make sure there is a primer on the canvas before applying the gouache. Otherwise, the fabric will kind of drink the paint. I mean, the paint will soak inside the fabric and you will lose paint. And you don't want that. So give it a good coat of clear or white gesso and you're good to go. And you don't need to have a very smooth surface like you would for oil painting, for example. I like the rough texture of the canvas. It gives some kind of nice effect. You can go with different weaving, small or large ones, but the larger the canvas and the larger the bumps and the more paint you'll need to fill in the gaps. So think about that, and this size is about the maximum I would go with gouache, just considering the price of the tube. If I want to go larger, I will change to medium. Another fun surface to use with gouache is cardboard, like here for example. This is a cardboard from some package I received one day. I just wanted to recycle it and use it again for painting. It works really well, but because there is always that, you don't want to use too much water on your cardboard, obviously, because it will do interesting stuff. But if you are painting in a heavy, thick paint, you should be fine with cardboard, and it gives an interesting color in the background. Really, very cool. And in the same style, there is also paper, regular paper. Can be vintage paper from an old book, or it can be newspaper. This is what I did for the recent entries in my garden paint challenge. And if you haven't heard about it yet, I am releasing a reference image every Tuesday on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow along and paint with any medium you like. I use a lot of gouache, obviously, but not only gouache. Well, anyway, this is painted on newspaper, and as I said, it can be also on vintage pages. Really gives a nice feeling, a nice mood to the painting. And for this you will need a transparent gesso to glue the paper on the surface. And the last surface I'm using, and I'm not saying these are all the only surfaces you can get with gouache, because you can use a lot of different ones, but they are getting less convenient. This one is wood, and wood is really fun to paint on. And you have different kind of woods, obviously. So this one is MDF. Actually, I didn't prime it. I just went straight to the painting, directly on the wood. And it's interesting because the color obviously exists already, and you have to take advantage of the color to paint. It's just like painting on tone paper. You have to adjust your values to the color of the background. And it can be more textured wood, like this one. I went directly on it as well. You don't need to prime actually, and it's not soaking inside the wood. And if I wanted to protect that, I would use a varnish in spray and not the wax, the cold wax, because I'm afraid it would make some strange stuff inside the wood. The surface you're using with gouache have a great impact on the final result, obviously, and it depends on your personal style, on what you like. Do you like a rough effect or a more soft effect with a lot of details? You have to consider the absorption rate of the surface you're painting on, because some surfaces are more thirsty than others. Is it a way to say that? I don't know, but you've got the idea. So just accordingly, especially if you are making a custom color, you have to premix enough, because otherwise you will lack the color and you will never be able to mix it again. So tell me, what are you painting on with gouache? Do you have any other surface than the one I just talked about? Let me know in comments. And now, go and paint.